Hello, my couture crafters. Let's get into this card using the Ton stamps. Here I'm using my Misty, and I'm just checking to try to find where that other magnet is. I have no idea where it went. I guess it has legs. So I'm using this stamp for the first time by Simply Defined, and it was a struggle to get off of that clear plastic. And I'm not sure if this is photopolymer, which is my preference for my stamps. If I were to use this again, I would definitely use it with my VersaFine Clear inks. This stamp behaves a little differently than some of my other stamps. I was still able to make it work, but I could tell that the quality is not quite what I'm used to. So I inked it up with that Catherine Pooler ink, which is a high quality ink, and it was just beating up. And when I see that happening, I know something's up. So I decide to prep this stamp. So I grab my Versamark and I condition it into the stamp. I just take my hand and just kind of massage it into there. But I still didn't love what I got here. So again, if I were using this stamp again, I would use my VersaFine Clear ink, and I'm pretty sure I would get a nice, even, consistent imprint. This wasn't bad, but I could tell that the ink did not want to stay on this stamp. Not the way my higher quality photopolymer stamps work with my Catherine Pooler ink. It still worked, but nope, I could tell there's a little difference here. So now I'm just going to clean it off and put it back on the plastic and grab the other layer. I could just leave it with this layer, or you can double it up, or you can just use the other one. It's a cool stamp set. It's great in theory, but again, I think that quality is a little different than what I'm used to. So I decided to do a fall card, and that of course means oranges and purples and the goldenrod colors. So I'm lining it up, and it's pretty easy to line up. And here I think I'm using an 8 by 5.5 panel right here. So I try to condition the stamp before I even attempt to put ink on this one again, because I can feel that this type of stamp is not um, gonna adhere to this ink isn't gonna adhere to the stamp the way that I want it to. So we're just gonna grab that purple and stamp it down. Nice even pressure. And I think I saw a few places that needed just a touch more, so we'll just add a little bit more ink here and close it. All right. Now we're going to clean it off. I'm just using Kirkland baby wipes. That's the great quick way to clean off a stamp. I have the chamois. I don't know where my Lawn Fawn chamois is in this video, but it's dyed and it looks icky. So I grabbed the Gina K Tidy Towel, and I'll be using that going forward. So now I've put my wreath, what do they call it? It's a wreath builder. That's what Gina K calls it, right here in the center of the Misty, and taped it down. I built my own because Gina K doesn't offer the sizes that I like to use. I want to use a 4.5 bigger because you guys know I'm funky about my card sizes. Here I'm looking at whether or not I want to use one style shoe, two style shoes, three styles of shoes. This stamp set is just too much fun. I can't help it. So I decided that I wanted to use two different shoes for this particular card. So I'm turning the card 2 times so that each shoe will stamp 4 times. And again, this is just the coolest stamp set ever. It's my all-time favorite stamp set by the Tons. Love them. So now I'm just putting in that second shoe, and I'm checking to see how it fits. And I think it fits pretty good. So I'm going to clean off that one with the little baby wipe and plop it to the side and pick up this new stamp. And then I'm going to choose to keep stamping this in black. I'm using the Midnight Black ink by Catherine Pooler. Addicted to her inks right now. That's all I really want to use right this second. So again, I'm going to turn my card 2 turns. 2 turns, not one. And there we go. I've seen sets with all kinds of little itty bitty images that can go between the shoes, but I was just keeping this clean and simple. This was the second time that I've used my wreath builder. I cut it out of heavyweight cardstock and it works perfectly fine. So there we go. Now we have a nice circle of heels. So I hit that with a little water because I think I got some of my hand sanitizer on it. Hand sanitizer will clean up just like a solvent, well, for solvent based inks. Like your StazOn, if you move quickly, you can use your hand sanitizer to remove it off of non-porous surfaces like acetate and whatnot. So here I'm lining up the shadow to the shoes. So the cool thing about this stamp set is you can stamp just the outline or you can put the color into the shoe. I could have done this by hand and just stamped each one, but I thought, why? I have it in a MISTI. Might as well make it nice and easy for myself. So I lined it up, and then instead of stamping it by hand and going over each shoe with a block, which sometimes I do, I decided to use a MISTI, and it worked perfectly. So now I have purple boots. I'm really into purple boots for fall. I have probably one of the coolest pair of purple boots right now in my closet, and this reminds me of the color. The card that I did before, I used a different color of Catherine Pooler ink. Crush Grape is my favorite kind of purple. It leans toward the blue side, not the red side. It's a hard color to get right, and Catherine Pooler absolutely got that color right. I just opened it. I don't know when I ordered that set, probably a while ago, and I just opened it for the first time last night, and I love that color. It is my absolute favorite now. Love it, love it, love it. I'll probably be using that color in everything you see going forward. Next, we are looking for the shadow to the heel, the pump there. And there are a couple different pump shadows, so be careful. Make sure you're getting the right one. These wardrobe shoe sets, I'm just checking. I've got it really close to my face. I don't see that great, so I had to get close to it, and I didn't want to put my head in the shot. These wardrobe sets are amazing. There's a ton of shoes, ton of them. I love this set. They just knocked it out the park with this set. It's so couture. It's so girly. So many options. I'm thinking about doing a Christmas tree with these shoes. I've seen it done, and it was so sophisticated. They just took a tree and then put, one stamp at the top, then two, then three, and they just kept building. Oh, gorgeous. So here I'm just playing with the colors. I chose to use this sauna color for all the pumps. I think I have a sauna colored pair of pumps myself. I'm kind of a shoe crazy lady. All right, so here I did a 5.5 by 5.5 card. I'm going to do a video about my card sizes versus the A2 world, which I don't love A2 cards. I say that every time I make a card because you're probably never going to see me. You do an A2 size card on here. I just can't. They bug me. So most of my cards are square, rectangles, the long and skinny ones, the long and skinny rectangle cards, or a nice circle. I think I'm going to make a hexagon card today. Why? I don't know. It's happening. I feel it. I said it. It's happening. Doing a hexagon. Yep. Just came to me just like that. I like fun shaped cards. And all cards must have matching envelopes. So I just cut down the panel. I wanted a lot of gray space showing on this one. I have some gray cardstock left over from my Trifold mini album. Take a look at that video if you haven't done so already. For some reason, it just was too much pattern on pattern. So I started playing with it. I'm like, how do I want to break this up? And I thought that white strip was fine. I wish I had stamped a decorative something going across that, but that just would have added another pattern. But some circles going across that white probably would have been a nice addition. Oh well, didn't happen. So instead I just broke it up nice, plain and simple. And there we are. That's the card. Now I have a leftover piece over there, and God forbid I throw that in the trash can. So I had the idea of always making a matching envelope, and I didn't want to pull the stamp set back out because I had put it up already. So I glued it to the tip of this paper after it was cut to size. Then I trimmed off the excess. I wish I had paid attention from the front to see exactly where that needed to line up for it to be even, for the pattern to be even, because the pattern's not even on the front. It matches, but you can tell on the left hand side there's more purple showing than on the right. Eh, hindsight 2020 every time. Love the envelope punch board, guys. If you're going to get it, get this one because this has the extender arm. You can make more stuff with it. That's not true. It just has more. You can do the same thing that you can do with the other one. But that extended arm and the box, the little box templates and stuff like that, this is definitely the better of the two. So if you're going to buy one, buy that one, not the older version. And here I'm just burnishing my envelope and hitting it with the little ATG gun there. Love that ATG gun. It makes things go so quickly. And now I have a matching envelope. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me again. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you around.